What's up, everybody? This is another segment of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is episode 135. I am your host, Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Unstoppable Hush, aka Voice of Reason, aka No Noise 418. What's going on out there? How's everyone? Short current events. As you know, the Fat Joe Ja Rule thing happened. Blah blah blah. Little jokes about Nelly and Ashanti interaction. Funny. Diddy chimes in. I think there was a 4-way chat. I can't remember all 4 people. I know it's Fat Joe. But the main point is Jermaine Dupri and Diddy. And if that was a potential versus that may happen, Diddy was talking real spicy. You know, y'all forgot who he is and what he's done for 20 odd years or whatever. So he was already setting the bar in case that goes down. A P. Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri is responsible for some things. I will not lie. But I don't know what he can bring to the table. 20 songs? I don't know. Let's see. It's hypothesis, speculation. Don't know if it's happening. Diddy just chimed in on it. Next, Cam. Whoa. Who's putting dirt on his name? Who's talking bad about him? Because he says he has iPhone 3, iPhone 4 in the vault that exposes almost any and everyone, no matter how big you are, no matter how small you are, how rich you are, poor you are. So keep that man name out your mouth. This is his message, not mine's. And damn, iPhones in the vault? Whoa. You gotta be very careful in general if you talk about folks, especially folks that has anything on you. It's very dangerous. True or not, just be mindful of that. Because that's why your friendships and your relationships should be very limited and very calculated for these reasons. Not only, but this is a part of it. Because the less people that know your shit, see, this can't happen. You know what I mean? And you're able to talk and roam freely as you please. But nonetheless, I don't know how true it is, but Cam seems fired up. And that's that. Football is in full stride. Man, Sundays are blazing, man. For New Yorkers, Giants and Jets are just still looking the same, man. Something needs to give. They're not making a stamp, man. I don't know. Professionals get paid so much that I'm like, something gotta give. Yeah, you're not gonna be Superman, but shit, man, you gotta. I guess in these games, as long as you fight, I guess you get a pat on the back. You know, they're not really getting smoked, but I don't know. I want to see more there. This is from I'm not a fan. I pick players. People get on me because I like players. I don't particularly have a team. You know, I go for who my players are. You know what I'm saying? So that's neither here nor there or as important. But football's in full stride. Damn. I don't know. The Yankees and Mets both seem to have some troubles. I don't know about, the Mets might be doing a little better, but the Yankees are, wow. I'm wearing a Yankee hat, yes. But I don't know what's going on there. Waiting on basketball. Definitely waiting for that. Show-wise, Raising Kanan is definitely picking up. Tune in. It's definitely gotten better. Not that it was terrible, but like some things that are good or destined to be great, They kind of start off slow, but I like where it's headed. So check out Raising Kanan. That's on Stars or however you do your streaming or devices. Wu-Tang is back. I don't know if anybody saw season 1, the American Saga. That is dope. Season 2 is here. I think Hulu is the prime. Check out Wu-Tang. It's so dope. It's so dope. Definitely. BMF is coming in very shortly. Right around the corner, BMF. It's also by 50. If you don't know the story of BMF, it's a big story. You know, Meech, his brother. I'm gonna just leave it secretively till they drop the first episode. Then I'll talk more on it. But for people who don't, they need to go and do their little research. There was a whole documentary on it. Big Meech's brother is home, but Big Meech still has some time left. That I'll give you. So I'm getting ready for that. And that might be it for the current events. Hustling and grinding. I mean all aspects, legal, illegal, it doesn't matter. I'm no judge to sit here and tell you how to make your money. We must learn, and that's if we don't already know. There's a lot of cliches. It's a lot of sayings. You don't have $1 till you made $2, right? When you are grinding, or you coming up, you're trying to break even, you're trying to just live good, you know what I mean, comfortably. You know, I'm talking more not the rich people who are well off, which you can use these strategies as well. Talking about middle class and lower. If you're behind, if you ever got behind, when you start to come back up, there's no break, you know? If there's bills out there, if there's stuff that's owed out there, you're not good. You can listen, life is short. You can take some funds to do something for you sometimes, just to say, this is not all for just work. But don't lose sight and don't forget that hunger that started to build you back up from being behind must keep going as strong as it was. I put an example to say, let's say your total bills, your total debt, let's say it's 10K. I'm just picking a number. It's 10K. You make about 8, 9K back. Let's say you even get to 10, 11. You're not up. You got to treat that 8, 9, 10K, even 11, like you only made 2 or 3. Because you want to get well above the 0 mark. Now, I'm no professional accountant or financial advisor to say if you've been on the bottom for a while, like, eating scraps and penny pinching and you really didn't have the chance to have a good time in a minute. No kind of like luxury, leisure type of events, whatever you like to do that costs whatever money. You could be simplistic where, the price for you to have a good time may not be matching versus another. Point is, you're not there. So now if you make this 8, 9, 10K back, you probably think that, all right, I owe 10, I'm going to get them 5 and continue to work on the rest. Is that a bad idea? I won't say no, per se. Depends on what person is doing it from this aspect. Because there's people who, if they owe 10K, they'll work up till they get that 10K, not take a break, not spend a dime on them, not go in at all concerning them, luxury, leisure, nothing, and pay that. And be at 0 again just to go back and grind and now say maybe their next come up, the next whatever amount of money they make, now they can take something and do for themselves. That's a motherfucking hustler right there. To take that chance. Because depending on how you're making your money and what you're doing to make the money, and at the rate and pace that you got the money. You're willing to say, I bet, let me pay off this entire debt so it's off my shoulders, off my back, and then talk about a good time later on my next chunk. That's not the way you have to be, but that's a good ass, I'm handling business all the way. But you don't have to be that way. Again, back to the half. If you give half of what you owe, you can take you can take some money and do for yourself or handle other things that's still owed, but not as important as that one. You know what I mean? Break down your money. Give some here, some there. Whatever strategy you use, as long as you continue to go though. Because you can use any strategy, and that's the point. You can use any strategy comfortable for you if you not stopping. The example I could give, I don't talk about my artistry much here because this is a different platform. Yes, I do music. Now, how I used to do music versus how I do music now mentally went like this. If I made X amount of songs in an X amount of time, I would put that together. Some, maybe one or two didn't make the cut. Put that together. That's a project. Put it out. Chill for a moment because that project's out. Maybe I'm still writing here because, you always still write. But, you're not writing with a sense of urgency as much. You're writing a song here or a song there because you got something out for the people, right? That's how I used to think. Boom. Versus now, I can have a whole project done and I'm still another project in the stash, meaning enough for another project. Not saying that those that's in the stash will be a project, but it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Example, the most recent up-to-date example I could give you. Maybe within the last couple of days, I had 5 new joints, right? Love at least 4. All 5 are dope. Love at least 4. Repeat those. Still skip ahead and going for the next joint. I don't need no round of applause or praise for that. The point is, you don't stop. Because to get, in that sense, in that example, to get recognized, that's the mentality you have to have. In survival, money, debt, and coming up out of it, that's the mentality you have to have. You can't, oh man, I just made such and such and such so I could chill for a minute. No, you got to want to make triple that so you could take a break. And a break means like a breather for like a second. That doesn't mean you sit your ass down. It don't stop. And the older you get and the more, some people, it's never too late if you start to get it. If it start to click here, it's never too late. But the older you get, the more debt, obviously, it's possible. Some people keep it together where the debt don't climb. And that's dope. But it's a tussle. And the thing is, you can't stop. I don't care if you only make $20 a day. If you make $20 a day until you feel you reach the goal as far as with bills or rent, whatever the fuck it is, that 20 should not be taken for granted. That don't mean you up to your standards. You're up 100, let's say. I'm going up to $20 a day. You up 100 that you don't really owe nobody. Or it's not critical. That's not, you don't take 3-4 days off because you up 100. You might could take a day off at some point. But you got to get right back. You got to get right back. I can't stress enough that get right back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to last. The sad part is it's still not going to last. Even with the tools and the advice I'm giving you, you're still going to run out. You know who don't run out? That's why I didn't really sign this up for rich people. People who are good already. People who are good already, it's going to last for some because of their really don't spend no money unless they have to. They have to do certain appearances, certain shit that they have to do. Fine. But the ones who seem to not even lose a cent are some cheap motherfuckers. You'd be surprised that celebrities, that they go places and they try to get over. The meal is free. Whatever purchase they have is free because they're famous. And they may exploit that to say, okay, well, I'll promote your business, take a picture in here so you could use to boost your business if you don't charge me. Fuck around and even have to pay them too. The meal or the purchase is free, and you may have to pay them too. Whatever. Maybe this is not really happening. Maybe it's happening at a small rate, but it's a genius. As foul as it sounds, it's genius. Because that's how up people stay up. But for us trying to get up, you can't stop. Even when you're tired. Even when you're tired. Even when it's not generating income in that moment. In that sitting. I'm not going to talk about the personal shit. I done music how long? What episode of the pod is this? It's another pod, and I did another pod. I did acting. Now, that's where you could criticize. Obviously, I didn't apply this strategy to the acting. The acting came and went. Maybe it's not my calling. And I'm okay with that. I know I can act, though. And, whoever circle I was around or whoever seen that, experienced it, and was around me know what fucking time it is, and they could just keep going, and God bless them. I don't got to be a part of that life. I got so many more talents. Some people only have one talent. Some people only have one calling. I got numerous callings, and I'm going to keep going. And a calling is not justified by a dollar amount. Your calling is your calling. I can't stress that enough. So whether you never see riches from what you're doing, it's within here. You can't fool here or here. So and when I say here and here, I mean the heart and the mind. So bump it. All money ain't good money. And all money is not like, there's this thing called survival that you must do certain things to generate some type of paper to eat, to feed the ones you love, to survive in general. But that doesn't mean that's your calling. I don't think, I hope things like doctors and firefighters, I hope that's their calling, because those are dangerous jobs. Those are risky jobs, where it's a lot at stake. So if they make a paycheck from that and that's their calling, that's beautiful. But there's some people, the fast food people and the retail, I don't think that that's their calling per se. Not to knock them, a check is a check. But that's not their calling, but they got to do what they got to do to survive. And they could be doing their calling on the side of that. But you got to do something to make some money. So, again, your calling is not defined by a dollar amount. Honestly, yeah, it sounds cute to say I'm doing what I love and I'm getting paid for it. That is so dope. That's like the best of both worlds, and you're really lucky. You're lucky and you're fortunate. It has nothing to do with your skill level. You're just fortunate. You can go against what I'm saying. You can say that I'm being biased, or I'm just looking at it from one angle. But I highly doubt that you're doing what you love and getting paid for it because of your skill level. It eventually shows. It grows into that. I guess the best way to say that, fine, I'll give you this. The people who are doing what they love and they're getting paid for it because they were given the chance, and if they do it at a consistent level, will eventually grow to that being the reason. So eventually it shows that you're getting paid because you're skilled at this. But it doesn't show off rip. Whatever opened the door, however you got in there, yeah, you can say you grind from the trenches and underground and people saw the talent and that's why you at where you at. I still call it luck. I still call it just a blessing. And what's wrong with that? Just accept that. Some people are really cocky and saying, I'm the best at this and this is why I'm where I'm at. No. So it's good energy, but no. And I'm saying that from a slightly ignorant standpoint because the things I do, I'm the fucking best at it. And I'm not where those people are. And that's okay. And you can judge and criticize and give punches and jabs at why I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And that's fine too. It's all right. Yo, I'm Teflon, baby. Like, I can take it. And that's what life is. When you can take things and you're doing things purely, genuinely, no scams, no hidden agendas, you're not out to hurt people, nothing can bother you. No comment should stir you or rattle you because you're doing your own Doug Thizzle. Now, if you come straight from me, I'm going to bite your fucking head off. But that's something else. That's not even that type of time we're talking about. Relax. Tranquila. But your calling is the bottom line. And I got off track of what I was talking about, and that's fine. Your calling is your calling, regardless of a dollar amount. Remember that. Motivation for you. Don't stop. Back to this bread, though. If you're grinding, again, you have to keep going. If you want to really get up from out under, you have to keep going. It doesn't stop. Bills don't stop. What's old don't stop. Fucking this scary thing called interest rates don't stop. This is why we are down. The world works off this, man. The world eats and feeds off of this. For everybody that owes anything, interest rates, what? That shit is destined to keep you in debt forever. Because they hope, this type of mentality I'm trying to tell you don't spread too far. Because if we all stayed on the grind non-stop and got up out of debt, you'll still owe bills. Because where you live, where you stay, where you lay your head, how you eat, that will always be. But if we the whole as a whole can control that and not be behind ever, who would struggle now? Those companies. For sure. They don't want us to fix this shit. You hear me? They don't want us to not owe. They can't survive off just the regular bill all the time. Just the normal what you owe, $40, $50 a month or whatever bill we're talking about. They want the debt. Collection agencies, what? Man, we could shut them down, boy, that'd be some miserable shit to them. Because they don't want to see that day. I'm telling you, they don't want to see that day. Feel me? And they may never see that day. Because people don't really stay focused. You come up a little bit. Come on, you got two choices. Somebody give you $20K right now. And say, yo, $20K outside what you can do on your own. That's the part. Because if you get $20K from somebody, yet you have nothing coming in from nowhere, you just ain't it. I won't judge you as much, even though I still think you should make smart decisions with that $20K. But I'll give you a little bit of a pass. But motherfuckers who get a salary and you just come up 20, what are you supposed to do with that 20? Versus what you're going to do with that 20. And I'm no perfect person. Put me in that same situation. I'm going to have a deep thought. But 20 ain't mine. I'm not going to tell you what amount I feel is mine, but 20 ain't mine. And if you owe anything, you should not think that 20 is yours. And I know, like I said, for people who not working and don't have no source of income at all, they're going to think that 20 is theirs. And that's fine. But I also applaud you if you have no income at all and you still think to take that 20 and do, you know what I'm saying? Get some shit out the way. But people who have salaries that come up on 20, you shouldn't think you have 20. You shouldn't think you have 20. Will you? It's up to you. But this is the whole thing. It's so all over the place. It's so discombobulated, and I don't always have all the answers. I'm just saying, it starts with the mentality. You don't have 20. If you're handed 20K right now, you do not have 20K. You might could say you got 10, 5. Your money is not your money till you don't owe a cent. And again, if you live somewhere and you have bills, when do you ever not owe a cent? You might have some time before you owe again. What's this? Almost the middle of the month, past the middle of the month. So if you pay all your bills or all your shits is due at the beginning of the month, you might be good right now. This week, next week, week after, whatever. So any come up that happens now, if you're on zero because you've paid all your bills at the beginning of the month and you're at zero right now, we're not owing anybody, and then somebody hands you 20K, I still say you don't have 20K because in a few weeks you're going to owe again. If the mental remains like this, nonstop, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Especially if you have any income coming from anywhere. Just get to it in any kind of way. Think around that. If you don't like your main source of income, find another one. It's easier said than done, but sitting there wasting time, not even trying, is not going to get you anywhere neither. So it's just good to have good energy. And again, it's how you live your life. If you're not cutthroat, if you're not out hurting people, and hurt could be in many ways, not just physical, and you just living as right as you can, because it's only what you can do. It's not like under the premises of no other man, because if we are religious, if we are believing in a higher source, whether it's God, Allah, whoever, no other man could tell us if we're not to the standards. Is what you feel. You know what I mean? But if you know you're doing straight up legit for the most part, that aura helps with your journey, helps with your goals and your tasks and what you have to do to get right. You know what I'm saying? So just like keep that as a mental reminder, and you should go far. But don't stop. Don't stop. A good moment is only that. A moment. A come up is a moment. Any breather is a moment. Because if you take it for more than that, you may not get another one. And as soon as you blink, it's discouraging. Because if you take it as that, as soon as you blink and it's gone, you're discouraged now. It's hard to get discouraged if you don't stop. Meaning, no matter what comes your way, no matter what you felt was a blessing, but you still keep going, it only continues to be that. More blessings come, or just more opportunities for blessings, more opportunities to be good. But you're not good. You're not good. Boy, all the adults that's like around my age or near about, boy, the childhood was the shit, wasn't it? Even if you struggled, you didn't have to have this mentality then. And then these kids today, which I'm not even going to go into that because that's a whole nother convo. Everything's always a whole nother convo. I try to stay to one premise. But, damn, you know what I'm saying? Preparing for this. Because once you've grown, that's it. The entire time you're alive, from the time you're an adult till you die, you owe. You're going to owe. You're going to have to pay something. So, that's enough of a reason to think how I'm telling you to think. It's never over. You're never up. Mentally. Physically, it may look like you up. Mentally, you're not up. Because more shit is coming. More shit is around the corner. So continue to work. Continue to grind. Whatever gets you where you can be thinking you're comfortable, keep it up. Copy, paste, recycle. Keep going. Yes, breathers and breaks are needed somewhere in between. Just so your body doesn't shut down. Just so you don't shut down. But let's not take a breather for a vacation. You know what I'm saying? A day doesn't mean a week. No matter what kind of come up you think you have. You could take a week off, I don't know when, but you shouldn't be taking a week off every time you think you got a little something going on. You got to keep going because it's never enough. It's never enough. I know the mentality may seem greedy, but it's never enough. Especially if you got kids. Because whatever you don't get to spend or enjoy, they will. And you know, they got to learn for themselves. And when they get grown, they going to have to go. You know, if they see how you move, hopefully they grasp that and they move that same way. Because whatever you do leave them ain't going to last forever neither. And if it is a good amount, they should still think it won't last forever and stay on their grizzly as well. And that's all life is. You stay on your grind. Your kids stay on their grind. Their kids stay and just keep this shit flowing. So you avoid depression. You avoid bankruptcy. You avoid homelessness, whatever the negative shits that come with slacking too much. And not to down anybody in those type of situations, because shit happens and bad luck and hard times is just always a factor out here, and everybody just doesn't get the fair shot. That's why I said the people who are doing what they love and getting paid, I call that luck and a blessing, because there are people who are on hard times out there that got talents too. That's very ill at shit. And they just ain't get the opportunity. Some have put them own selves in that position, and some shit is just unfortunate. Sorry to say. But that's it. I'm out of here. Till the next time. Peace.